What's going on, guys? It's Tyler St. Launch from Milky Apparatus, and I'm back with another video, right? And this video is going to be the top 3 methods I use to never miss a good car deal using Facebook Marketplace specifically. I do use OfferUp, I do use LetGo, and I use Craigslist. But the main place that I use to buy my vehicles 9 times out of 10 is going to be on Facebook Marketplace, and then I sell on all platforms, right? So this is how I kind of focus in on how to find a vehicle on Facebook Marketplace, because it can be difficult. And if you don't know how to use the filters or how to use Facebook Marketplace, it will take you forever to find a vehicle. So this first method I'm going to show you is if you don't care how far you have to drive and you don't care about price range, but you do care about the make of the vehicle. Let's say you hate Fords, you hate Chevys, but you like Toyotas or you like Hondas. This method is going to be directed mostly towards people who know the make of the car that they want and they don't really care about the drive as long as it's a good deal, right? So what you're going to do is we're going to refresh this, start over, and you're going to go over to vehicles, right? And I put within 100 miles. You can go all the way up to 500 miles depending on how far you go. I don't usually drive more than 150 miles. But anyways, and then you're going to type in, let's use the example of Toyota, right? Type that in. And the reason why I say the make specifically is because you get a extra feature whenever you type in the make that you want. If you don't type in the make, you don't get this feature. So I'll show you with the make and then without the make to prove to you that you don't get this feature. So whenever I type in Toyota, you get this one called date listed. And I'll make a whole new video just based on why this is such a useful tool. But basically, the rundown is you want something that's been recently posted, because something that's been posted too long is probably not good anyways. Like I said, I'll make another video to explain that, but for this video only, just trust me, you want to do the last 7 days. And you, like I said, you only get this feature if you type in the make. So let's redo this without the make, and I'll show you. So if we just go to vehicles, see how it doesn't show date listed? The closest thing you can get is sort by, and then you can do newest first, but that doesn't guarantee you. Sometimes Facebook messes up and it shows you something that isn't recently posted at all. So going back to the example of Toyota, go here. I guess we're searching within 500 miles now, and then we're going to do date listed last 7 days. Now you can even go further and put in your max price. You could do 4,000, and remember, always do more than your max price. I'll do another video on that as well. Do more than your max price, because you can always negotiate down. So if your max negotiation power, like you only have 3,000, maybe put 4,000 in as your max for cars, because sometimes someone who has it listed up for 4,000 will take 3,000. So always be open up for that. But if you want to keep it broad and you don't really care about the price range, you just care about more of a good deal because you have a lot of money, don't put in that, because then it filters out all the good potential deals, right? So then you just look, and so you'll see some that are close to you, you'll see some that are kind of far. This is 2 hours away at Springfield, 4,400. I'm gonna have to make another video too, how you can tell if it's a dealer or a private owner and why you want to buy from a private owner versus a dealer. From the looks of this, it looks like a dealer, so I wouldn't want to buy this car at all. But anyways, that is the first method that I will suggest. The second method is if you know your price range and you only want a certain location. So you don't care about the make, but you do care about how far you drive and the price range, which I kind of touched on this a little bit. So then we'll refresh this, go back to Marketplace, go to Vehicles, Alright, so then, like I said, let's say you have $3,000 cash that you can use. We're going to put 4,000 in because we can always negotiate down. And then location within, 40 miles. You don't want to drive further than 40 miles. And then you apply. Now, you don't get a certain make, so you get Fords, you get Subarus, you get Toyotas, which can be overwhelming to someone who doesn't buy and sell vehicles very often, because you don't know what is a good vehicle or a bad vehicle, most likely. So this one's a little bit harder, but it gets you in your price range, so you won't have to spend above what your price range. As you can see, none of these are going to be above $4,000. There's some exceptions to the rule. Like sometimes people don't post the actual price up, and they'll do something like 1, 2, 3, 4. and then you have to click on it, and then it'll say in the description what their price range is. But yeah, that's the second method. So you know your price range and you know how far away you gotta go. The third method, which is the method that I use most of the time, is that the problem with making your range 100 miles, 500 miles, you miss a lot of information if you just do that in a price range, right? So you miss a lot of good deals, and it's weird because the algorithm, I don't know how to explain it. So sometimes you'll put in a certain filter and you'll see a car, and then you'll take out the filter and you don't see that car anymore, or you put in an extra filter and you see a car that you didn't see it before. Don't know how to explain it. You'll only know if you've been through this. But what I like to do is change my location. So I do a smaller radius, because the smaller the radius, the more narrow the focus is. So you don't get a bunch of cars that are in Fayetteville and Springdale, you get all the cars in Springdale. Because if you do Fayetteville and Springdale, the algorithm, I'm pretty sure, like halves the vehicles. So if there was 40 vehicles in Fayetteville and 40 vehicles from Springdale, and you just focused on Springdale and you had the 40 vehicles, you focused on Fayetteville and had the 40 vehicles. But if you focus on both of them, I swear to God, it goes 20-20. So you miss a bunch of cars. So the other method I suggest doing is narrowing your focus down on one town, one location, maybe two towns, but don't do the widest thing, because you miss a lot of vehicles. And so let's say I'm doing Rogers and I only do 20 miles. I'll look through this entire list till I get bored, right? And then I'm like, okay, time to move the location. I'll keep it at 20 miles. And this is where the phone comes in. It's difficult on the computer because you can't drag the circle, but on your phone you'll be able to drag the circle, so you don't have to type it in. So on computer you'd have to type in, let's say I want to look at Tulsa, Oklahoma now. I go here and I do 20 miles to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and then it gives me all the vehicles in that location. And that's why I like that so much. This is the most time consuming, but I swear to God it's worth it. And then you go to Cassville, and you look in Cassville, Missouri, and I'm telling you, this is the longest method to do it, like the most time consuming. But I truly believe sometimes the more time you put in something, the more output you get out sometimes. It doesn't count with like minimum wage jobs. You could work 40 hours and you don't get the output you deserve. But here, in this case scenario, the more narrow your focus is and the more you change your locations, the better the outcome, in my opinion. But everyone's different, so you might have liked the other two methods that I suggested. But anyways, I think that's it for the video. And just be on the lookout for more car videos, more just buying and selling stuff in general. Maybe some stock market videos, just look out for those. But like, comment, share, whatever, do what you want. Subscribe, okay? I'm looking at my analytics on my YouTube app, and 99% of you guys aren't subscribed. Do it. Alright, see you guys later.